This is Modern Tribe TV News, and I'm Jeff Gorman. We're coming to you today from Bonaire, the B island in the former Netherlands Antilles, the ABC islands of Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao, which are located off the coast of Venezuela. We are here today with a man who has been described as an adventurer, an explorer, a pioneer, a visionary, a raconteur,
and a lover, sometimes.
a spinner of tales long and mostly true, and a legend. These are some facts according to a recent article in the Bonaire Reporter by Patrick Holland. He's a native Californian, a native veteran who served honorably as a medic, a businessman who ran then sold Stewart screens, an aspiring actor with a script about a large sailing ship and the ship needed for the movie. But it is because of Hollywood's rejection of that script and their advice to live the life contained within that he eventually ended up in Bonaire after a successful yet illegal boat charter service, a mutiny, and pirates. Still spinning yarns and putting many to paper, it is my pleasure and honor to be here with Sir Don Stewart at his native tropical plant farm. And he's Sir by virtue of the Dutch. He's got the title of Knight within the Order of Orange Nassau.
It's pronounced Ritter.
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 Yeah, Knight in Dutch is Ritter. So he is Sir Don Stewart.
And I should say that when I arrived here, there were 4,000 people, no water, no electricity, and our substance came from selling goats, charcoal, cutting down all our trees, and a handful of salt. That was it.
And now how many people are on the island?
I don't know how many. Does anybody in the audience there know how many people?
15,000.
Yeah,
How
I was
many?
going to say 13 to 15,000.
13 to 15,000.
13 to 15,000 now on Bonaire.
Residents.
That's
Residents. And
that's
that doesn't include everybody that comes to visit the pristine reefs and that sort of thing. That probably increases that quite a bit. But the reef, at first you were trying to sell the reef, and then you decided to preserve
There was a little matter of making the reefs knowledgeable to the world, but there were no divers. And so first we had to make all the divers so we could sell the package. And we did that through NASDS. Remember NASDS?
Yeah.
John Gaffney? You remember him?
I think so.
Oh. Well, anyhow, and then eventually we got involved in YMCA. And then I bought my paddy card for $25. And in fact, I became a YMCA instructor, and I became a YM certified, and I became a paddy instructor all within one weekend.
Wow.
All as fast as I could write checks.
There you go. And you heard it here first. All right.
And I said, no, we're going to have what we call diving freedom. That was the birth of the orientation. That once a person has been told what to look for and all the substances they're going to be up against, then they have to be left on their own and free. And then maybe they were certified, maybe they weren't. I never asked anybody if they were certified. You know that? Am I talking to divers out there?
Yeah, divers and general, yeah, everybody.
Well, it was very interesting that I used to have a group come in. I said, well, any of you dive? And they said, well, we all dive. And I said, that's great. And they said, do you want to see certification or something? I said, no, don't bother. I'm not interested in that. I asked you, do you dive? They said, yes. Well, okay. Then everybody get ready and have a dive. And then I start to watch them. All my crew at work with me were watching these people. And all of a sudden, somebody would grab a tank, flip on the regulator, flip over the top of the head. All tanks are over the top of the head, you know that.
Yeah, like that.
And we ignored them. Then all of a sudden, somebody's fuddling around, and they got the regulator upside down, say, that one, special school. And then we started another educational thing. And when we finally finished, we gave them a certification. And I certified everybody Captain Don's certification. Somebody asked me the other day, said, Don, do you ever lose any of your divers? And I said, I've lost divers, but I've never lost them. None of my divers ever had a problem, because I taught them hardcore.
Yeah.
Like Navy pilots.
There you go. Hardcore.
You know, at one time I understand from the magazine up in Sausalito that My dive shop was the biggest in the world at one time.
Wow. Here on Bonaire.
No, the world. This is not the world.
Your
The
shop
world,
on
the
Bonaire.
world is the round thing. Bonaire is flat.
All right.
In fact, that's what the word Bonaire means. Bonaire means flatland.
Flatland.
So when you talk about the world, it's round. So I said we are the biggest in the world.
Right.
Not here.
No, but your shop in Bonaire is the biggest in the world.
The shop in Bonaire was the biggest in the world.
Okay.
It didn't stay that way long, but they saw good money coming in, and everybody jumped on the bandwagon. But we beat them to it.
All right.
Okay, continue to read. This
All right.
is very interesting, guys and girls.
This is going to the editor this evening. It's called Sea Trauma. It's supposed to be one in a series or a serial of books that he's going to be publishing. He's written some other books. The one about the reefs was called Windows?
Reef Windows.
Reef Windows. I read that one last year. That's
The other,
most excellent.
the other good one is Horror's Horror. That was a hell of a book.
Yes, he's
How
He's
about
very
Zoot
good.
and the Wagon Man?
there.
Oh, we got a lot of them. I've written 11 novels. And the tragedy is, I have yet to learn the alphabet. I am dyslexic. And it has really made a mess out of my life.
I think that's dyslexia.
Mm.
Thank dog, right?
Well, it got me thrown out of school.
Okay.
I didn't learn to even read until I was 20. And that's an interesting story. Actually, I became the chief medical officer for the USS Persistent number 48, in the Pacific. I was the chief medical officer. I was 18 years old and couldn't read. What do you think of that? And I had all these medical books, how to take care of things, in case I had forgotten. I was radio silence in those days. And let me tell you about the appendectomy that I didn't do.
All right. Fair enough.
But those are fun things, and this dyslexic can get you into a lot of trouble. I have finally figured out what I do. I see words as a, how can we describe this? As a three-dimensional photograph. I don't actually see the word, I see the image. And I see a whole play. And all I have to do is describe it. And that's how it's easy to write books. I now have over 1,000 stories out. And it's simply done that way. I simply describe what I see. Figure that one out.
Do you have a website, per se?
Of course we have a website.
Okay.
We
We'll
have
plug
a
the
website.
website.
Well, I go by the name of Captain Don.
Okay.
That's all you do is punch in Captain Don. Whoop, it comes up. It goes on and on and on and on and on and on. You actually get bored a little bit.
Do you have a specific website, though, address? It's just
Do I have? No. You go to,
Captain Don.
tells them the
oh,
order.
you go to Google, so you type in Captain Don, period.
CaptainDonBooks.com is one of them.
CaptainDonBooks.com
Yeah.
is one where you'll be able to get Sea Trauma when it comes out in print,
Yeah.
or the other
We're
Reef Windows.
hoping to be able
Reef
to
Windows
market
will be
them.
on there, and hoping to get the other ones on. Again, what happens,
I got a good one coming up called Island Adrift.
okay,
And that's good one to close it out at a little over 90,000 words.
wow,
And a lot of photographs. And they all go way back to the beginning.
oh, he has so many irons in the fire at one time. We're here,
Well,
and it's just amazing to see.
explain that. Well, I've heard that all my life.
Irons in the fire
No, irons in the fire.
Iron fire.
Means what? Means what?
means you're doing so many
Irons
things.
in the fire that either goes back to some torture situation,
No, not
or
that
it
one.
goes back to branding.
Branding or blacksmith irons in the fire. So many things that you're going to form and build, and
Okay, good. Like a good buck knife.
like a good buck knife.
Those are the irons in the fire. I've always wondered what that meant. I've heard it so frequently.
Yeah. So, Captain Don, we'd like to thank him for allowing us to interview him today out here in at his home and out here in Bonaire, and we appreciate him being with us. Again, if you need any information, we'll post this along on the webisode at the end, information about websites and that sort of thing, about the books, and again, so this is Jeff Gorman with Captain Don in Bonaire, and this is for Modern Tribe TV AM News.
Yo.